Okay, so there's this feeling, and I don't know if you've been noticing it, but it's there. Um, it's like when you can sense something's different, but you can't quite name it yet. You know what I mean? There's someone, and they're looking at you in a way that feels different, different from how they used to, or different from how other people do. And what they're seeing, what they're holding, it's something you've wanted, something you've thought about. Does that make sense to you? It's not that they're giving you something out of nowhere. It's more like they're recognizing something in you. They're seeing you in a way that matches what you've been feeling about yourself, maybe, or what you've been hoping someone would see. And there's this moment happening, this this awareness where you realize, wait, this person, they're offering me something, not just words, not just attention, something that feels real, something that feels like it connects to what I actually want. Have you noticed that too? Mm. And it's weird because part of you might be waiting for the catch. Part of you might be thinking, okay, but when does this fall apart? When does this turn into something else? When do I find out it's not what I thought it was? Because you've been careful. You've had to be. You've learned to protect yourself from people who offer things they can't actually deliver, from situations that look good on the surface but don't hold up. So even though this is happening, even though someone is showing up with something you've wanted, there's this hesitation, this holding back, this part of you that's like, I don't know if I can trust this yet. Tell me in the comments if this feels familiar. But here's what's also true. There's another part of you, a quieter part maybe, that's recognizing something, that's saying, wait, this feels different. This person, this offer, this moment, it's not like the other times. It's not desperate. It's not manipulative. It's not conditional in that way that makes your stomach tight. It just is. And that simplicity, that straightforwardness, it's almost harder to accept than the complicated stuff because you know how to navigate complicated. You know how to read between the lines, to decode what people really mean, to protect yourself from hidden agendas. But when someone just shows up clearly, when they offer something without all the layers, it can feel disorienting. Like you're waiting for the part where it gets messy and it's just not coming, you know? And I think what's happening right now is you're in this space of recognition. You're seeing that what this person is offering, it aligns with something you've been holding inside yourself, something you've wanted, something you've maybe even convinced yourself wasn't realistic or wasn't available to you. But here it is, right here, being offered. And the question isn't really, is this real? The question is more like, can I actually receive this? Can I let myself have this without sabotaging it, without questioning it to death, without convincing myself I don't deserve it? Does that make sense to you? Because there's a difference between wanting something and being able to actually accept it when it shows up. There's a gap there sometimes, a gap between desire and reception. And you might be feeling that gap right now. You might be aware of this tension between, yes, I want this, and wait, I'm not sure I know how to hold this. It's like, okay. It's like when you've been cold for so long and someone offers you a blanket and part of you wants to wrap yourself in it immediately, but another part of you is so used to being cold that the warmth feels almost threatening. Like if you let yourself feel it, if you let yourself relax into it, you'll lose your edge. You'll become vulnerable. Have you noticed that too? And what's interesting is that this person, whoever they are, they're not forcing anything. They're not pushing. They're just there with this offer, with this thing you've wanted. And they're waiting to see if you'll actually take it. not waiting in a manipulative way, not waiting to use it against you later, just waiting because they understand that you need a moment, that you need to feel into this, that you need to decide if you're ready to receive what you've been wanting. And that's where you are right now, in that decision space, in that awareness of this is here, this is real, this matches what I've wanted, and now what? Now what do I do with that? Because wanting something from a distance is one thing. Having it be offered to you directly is completely different. It requires something from you. It requires you to step forward, to say yes, to open your hands and actually receive instead of just wishing from afar. And that can feel scary. It can feel vulnerable. It can bring up all the old fears about what happens when you let yourself have what you want. What if it gets taken away? What if you were wrong about what you wanted? What if having it is somehow worse than not having it? Tell me in the comments if this feels familiar. But there's also this other thing happening. This awareness that you've grown. That you're not the same person who used to accept scraps. Who used to convince yourself that almost enough was good enough. Who used to settle for people who couldn't actually offer you what you needed. You've changed. You've done work on yourself. You've gotten clearer about what you actually want, what you actually deserve, what you're actually available for. And maybe this person showing up with this offer, it's a reflection of that, not in a cosmic mystical way. Just in the way that when you shift internally, when you become more clear about what you value, the external world starts to mirror that back to you differently. Not because you manifested it, not because the universe rewarded you, just because you're showing up differently, you're seeing differently, you're available for different things. And so this person, this offer, it's landing in a way you couldn't have before. Because you're different now. You're more aligned with what you actually want instead of what you think you should want or what you've been told to want. Does that make sense to you? And I think the tricky part is trusting that this alignment you're feeling, it's real. It's not a trick. It's not going to disappear the moment you reach for it. But that trust, that's your work to do, not this person's. They're showing up. They're offering, they're being clear. The rest is about whether you can let yourself receive it. Whether you can let yourself have what you want without all the stories about why you shouldn't, why it's too good to be true, why you need to protect yourself from it. And maybe you don't know the answer to that yet. Maybe you're still feeling into it, still testing the edges of it. Still trying to figure out if this is something you can actually hold or if you're going to drop it before you even really try. And that's okay. You don't have to know right now. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be honest with yourself about what you're feeling, about what you're noticing, about what's actually true in this moment. Because this offer, this thing someone is presenting to you that matches what you've wanted, it's here. It's present. It's real. And what you do with that, how you respond to that, whether you let yourself have it or whether you find reasons to push it away, that's up to you. No one can make that choice for you. No one can convince you that you're worthy of receiving what you want. That's something you have to know for yourself. And maybe you're in the process of knowing it. Maybe you're in that space of becoming someone who can actually receive instead of just desire. Maybe you're learning what it feels like to say yes to something that's genuinely good for you instead of just good enough. I don't know. Only you know where you are in that process. But what I do know is that this moment, this awareness you're having right now about someone offering you something you desire, it's significant. Not because it guarantees anything, not because it means everything is going to work out perfectly, but because it's asking something of you. It's asking you to be honest about what you want, to be clear about whether you're willing to receive it, to be brave enough to say yes even when you're scared. And that that's where the real work happens. Not in the wanting, not in the wishing, but in the receiving, in the allowing, in the opening up to have what you've been holding as a desire become something you're actually experiencing. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Someone is offering you something you've wanted, and you're aware of it. You're feeling it. You're noticing the way it aligns with what you've been holding inside yourself. And now you get to decide what